What a great showcase. I'm honored to be able to bring the caboose, be the caboose in this showcase. I believe that what I have to tell you today will be very important to you guys as you go out into the workforce. This man, Antoine Augustin Parmentier, was a Frenchman that was captured by the Prussians during the 7-Year War and taken to India. When he was in India, he was fed what the French would term as hog food. Today, you and I know it as the source of all fried goodness, the potato. Antoine returned from India, determined to show the French that the potato could be a hot commodity. And he did this in a couple of creative and interesting ways. One, he made your mom's funeral potatoes and served them to famous people like Benjamin Franklin. He sent not a bouquet of flowers, but a bouquet of potato blossoms to the Queen of England. And then my favorite is he plotted a plot of potatoes. He built a fence around it, hired guards to protect the plot, and then told them to accept any bribes and to leave their post unattended. He did this so that people, when they'd steal their potatoes, would think they're really getting something valuable, right? And he did a great job because he is credited with helping France survive the famine of the 1700s. He was innovative. Now, many of you will think that innovation is associated with entrepreneurship. So before you fall asleep out there, that's not true. I've done some research. Our favorite large consumer manufacturer, Procter & Gamble, has to grow 4% every year in order to stay competitive, in order to make their shareholders happy. 4% doesn't seem very much, but when you put it in dollar terms, they have to build a $4 billion business every year. And you thought that building a $1 million business would be difficult this year. They have to do a $4 billion business every year. So you can imagine that innovation is a key part of their business plan. And that's why it's important for all of you that are about to go into the workforce, and for those of you who are currently studying. Innovation is for the small company and for the large company. But ironically, most people do innovation incorrectly. So my hope today is to draw upon some of my experiences and help you learn how to do innovation correctly. The experiences I will draw upon is an experience that I spent this past year doing called the Crocker Innovation Fellows. This program takes students from across the campus, puts them in groups, and then gives them capital to start a company. It really gives us hands-on opportunity to practice innovation. I'm also going to rely heavily on Nathan Furr's Nail It and Scale It methodology. So 2 things I'm going to talk about today are, 1, what is it to nail the pain? And obviously my text has been shrunk, so for those of you who are hard of eyesight, I'm sorry. Nailing the pain, which is much bigger than what as it is, and then nailing the solution, also much bigger than what it should be on the screen. So let's first talk about nailing the pain. Nailing the pain is the most overlooked part of the innovation process, and it's not because of the text size, I guarantee you that. It's overlooked because people love to jump to solutions. But that's the biggest mistake you can make, because the truth is people won't buy your product unless it solves a pain for them, unless it does a job for them. There are 2 types of pains. There are mosquito bite pains, and then there are shark bite pains. Now, mosquito bite pains are the types of pains that everyone feels, but no one ever tells you about. It's the pains like the cold toilet seat in the morning that everyone experiences, right? You don't see people running out in hordes into the street demanding that the world give them a warm toilet seat. Most people just clench their teeth until it warms up and get through it. Shark bite pains, on the other hand, demand immediate attention. And you'll find that people will throw gobs of money at you to solve shark bite pains. And so the real question should be, do you have a major pain or a minor pain? And there's 2 tests that you can really do to find out if you have a mosquito bite pain or a shark bite pain. The first is a smoke test, which is all about business to consumer markets. This is where you set up a fake online ad, and then you measure the click-through rate. So you can do it on Google AdWords, you can do it on Facebook. And if you get around 2 to 4%, you're in a good area. The other way is called a cold call test. And this is for business-to-business situations. A cold call test involves you calling potential customers and describing your pain. But don't go into your solution. Paul Kudrowski of the Kauffman Foundation once said, as soon as you build something, you are dead. And as soon as you mention a solution to a customer, they will immediately think that you're selling to them and will stop giving you feedback. They'll kind of close off. And so don't tell them about your solution. Tell them about your pain, their pain. This is best when there's a voicemail, because if they return 50% of your voicemails, then you're on the right track. As far as nailing the solution is all about failing quickly and failing fast. And you might say, that seems counterintuitive to me. And the reality is that your first idea is not the best idea. Clearly, this person had a lesson to learn, right? Your second and third idea happen to be the better of all the ideas. And so most people falsely think that they have to have a perfect prototype before they can talk to a customer. But during my Crocker Innovation Fellowship, I learned that if you go with cardboard and paper prototypes, that's not actually the case. People will give you the most valuable feedback with the most crude prototypes. Another method is called a Turk test or Turkit. And forgive the crude terminology, but it comes from a technique that a company developed where they wanted to develop artificial intelligence, and so they hired a bunch of Turkish people to act as that artificial intelligence. And essentially, people thought that the computer was doing it when they hadn't even put a dime into development. A Crocker team did a similar thing by going to the Wilk and putting a laptop on a table and then putting a sign that said, charge your phone here. They put a black mat so you couldn't tell it was a laptop. And they really wanted to measure, do people use public charging stations? And they sat back and they took notes and they laughed as people spent 5 or 10 minutes with their phone on this laptop not doing anything. And so the real trick to being innovative in this generation is learning how to nail pain and nail a solution. And for all of you, regardless of the size of industry you go into, whether it's big or whether it's small, this will be important. And this will drive the growth of your company, and it will drive the growth of your community, and it will drive the growth of you as an individual. Thank you.